Financial Survival Network, helping you survive and thrive in the new economy. Go to CarrieLutz.com and sign up for 30 free micro trainings on financial survival.
1490 WGCH. This is Carrie Lutz, and you're listening to the Financial Survival Network, which is brought to you by Miles Franklin. They've been in business selling gold and silver for over 20 years, and I'm a customer because when you buy, they ship. For more information, find them on the web at milesfranklin.com or give them a call at 800-822-8080 and get a free quote. $14.90 WGCH. This is Carrie Lutz. You're listening to the Financial Survival Network, and we've all witnessed the decimation that's taken place in the mining stocks. Recently, they're selling at tremendous discounts to the metal they have in the ground, and we're all a bit miffed by it, which is why I have Dudley Baker on the line with me now. Sorry, just a second. Dudley is with me now to help clear up a lot of the mysteries surrounding these stocks. Dudley, welcome to the Financial Survival Network.
Good to be with you, Carrie. Yeah, this is great. I always love to talk about the market, so this is a great opportunity.
And we love to hear about it. That's our purpose. So what's your thought here? We've been watching gold and silver. They're trading kind of in a sideways channel, little ups and downs, but pretty much haven't gone any place for about a year now, give or take. And they just seem to be stuck in the mud. Where do you think all this is heading?
Well, it is literally stuck in the mud. I mean, gold is vacillating in that 1620 to 1670 range, I guess. And but what's happening to the shares? The damn shares continue to plunge, right? Mm-hmm. So even as we're chatting here today, we've got the HUI. This morning hit the lowest level that we've seen here, and so it is incredible that a challenging time for all investors. But longer term, I mean, this too will pass. And I think relatively soon, in my opinion. But I'm in the bullish camp with the big boys that where ultimately we will see gold probably greatly in excess of $3,000 an ounce, and of course silver is going to go along for the ride, whether that means 50 or 100 an ounce that a lot of them talk about. But I am in that very, very bullish camp, and then when I look at the HUI here, and we hear this expression, sell in May and go away, and it's like, holy crap, here we are sitting with mining stocks, having plunged like this, and you think, should you have bailed? But, historically, you can go back, and I saw some work over the weekend that looking at the gold stocks is that when they have fallen like they have this year, 20+% coming into May, historically, this was an incredible buy point right around this same date that we're sitting here at today as a bottom in the stocks. And that happened in 2004 and in 2005. So, and then monster rallies preceded that. So there is some precedent to, that sell in May and go away does not always work out. Mm-hmm. So with the current market, I think we may be poised here, for a rally, which will, let's face it, pretty much shock the heck out of a lot of people if we rally big time to the upside right now.
Yeah, great point. There's all these maxims, all these truisms on Wall Street, and they work until they don't work anymore, and mm-hmm. nothing works 100%. There's studies done on what the best day to buy a stock is, what the best day is to sell it, and the evidence looks pretty compelling until you buy the stock on that day and then you sell it on the other day and then it doesn't work. And we've seen this time and time again because, look, the price of the metals is up so high and look where the indexes are. They're way, way shot down. How can that be when there's trading at the same price as when gold was trading under $1,000?
Yeah. It is truly incredible, and just looking at the HUI here, and just looking from the one of the contrarians here would be the positive divergence that has developed in the RSI, the relative strength, and we're trending up there and trending down big time in price. So somehow this is flashing. Does this mean we're at the bottom today? Nobody knows that for sure, but I think we're really, really close to the stocks putting in lows right here. And then that just begs the question, well, if we think we are at a bottom, what should we be doing? What should we be buying? How should we approach these markets?
Yeah, exactly. And some people attribute the depressed level of these mining stocks to manipulation by whomever it may be. And there could be some truth to that in certain instances. What's your feeling about the manipulation theme here?
I guess, I'm probably open to it, but honestly, what do I do about it? Even if I really got passionate and said, yeah, these markets are being manipulated, but what am I going to do about it? What will the average, say, listener, what do you do with this information? Do you decide you just don't want to play this game anymore and you run around or you just run away because you think it may be manipulated? I guess even if it was manipulated, we're still going to have some great rallies here. But I think at the end of the day, I just have to keep doing what I'm doing and approaching the markets like this and look for those good opportunities. So I hear what you're saying, but I just totally don't buy into the story, and at least to follow it passionately, of the manipulation.
Yeah, and even if it's there, so how is that going to affect you? Can they handle it long term? And what's the best that they can hope to do, whomever might be manipulating it? So on the one hand, I agree with you. From a stock investment standpoint, it's kind of just noise, and probably your subscribers and a lot of you out there are really taking a longer perspective on the whole market, because trading is not the precious metals investors' real pastime. From what I've met, most of the people involved in this space, there are the traders out there who can buy and sell these stocks at the right time, but for the rest of us, what do you do?
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. I usually preface all my talks with the fact that I am not a trader. Do not want to be a trader. It's like I'd like to think I'm a long-term investor that normally would, and to me that would normally mean 24 to 36 month time horizon. Let's be patient here. If our positions go against the short term, if we're comfortable with those positions, just suck it up, and as I just said in this last article, suck it up, guys, put on your big boy pants, and hold tough at the moment here, and because this too will pass. But
that's what my mother always used to say, this too shall pass. And then when it passes, how do you pick stocks? How do you find them? I know you follow insiders a lot, and I know you have a lot of metrics on warrants in these companies as well. Yeah.
In the, I guess I'm really associated now with two services. The bread and butter, so to speak, we're preciousmetallswarrants.com. We're this month, I think, is our 7th year anniversary of this service. So we've been around for a good while with basically a great warrant database on all of the warrants trading on the resource companies in the United States and Canada. So we got some good companies that have long-term warrants trading, and then I passionately follow through an institutional service, the insider trading in Canada. Love to do that. And through the new service that I've recently become affiliated with, or was asked to join, it was the Greedy Guru, where it's called thegreedyguru.com. So you either like the name or you don't like the name, but basically it's taking the top picks of the pros. Where in that service, collectively, we have access to well over 20 different newsletters, and we know what everybody else is recommending and talking about, and we can literally pick the best of the best, and then do our own filtering at the end of the day as to gosh, what are the insiders doing on any of these given companies? So that we always keep it within less than 20 companies. But back to the warrants, one just example, and I'm assuming that most of our listeners know what a warrant is, and you may say it's always say similar. Just think about a call option, think about a leap. Warrants basically the same with slight differences, where a warrant would actually be a security issued by the company, giving you the right, but not the obligation to buy the underlying stock. Specific price, expiring on a specific day. And so, the good example here, a lot of our listeners know the story about New Gold, NGD. Great company. And whether we're talking about a warrant, whether we're talking about an option or a leap, it's always like a warrant on what? So you just don't get excited about warrants in general. You've got to find the company first that you really like their story, and see them executing on their business plan, over the next couple of years. And then it's always looking for that opportunity. Do they have a long-term warrant? Which in the case of New Gold, they do. That's going to give you time to play this bull market. And of course, what the reason we'd buy the warrant is we're looking for the additional upside leverage, which to me normally means we want that warrant to outperform the common stock by at least 2-to-1 going forward. So that's our reward for buying the warrant, is that additional leverage that we're going to get. Yeah, in the case of the New Gold, this warrant the warrant A actually expires in June of 2017. One of our longer warrants that are out there in the database. So just think about this. You've got over 5 years. It's like a 5-year call on New Gold. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then connecting the dots of all the information is that over the last 6 to 8 weeks, we now have 5 insiders buying New Gold, open market transactions, less than $10. Most of this was in the $9 range. A little negative news came out on the Chilean property that they've got with Goldcorp. Markets didn't like it, and of course, in this current environment, New Gold sold off as well. So now we got the stock trading down here in the $8 range, and we've got the long-term warrant down in the $2.60-70 range, something like this. And just kind of smells incredible opportunity. Yeah. And so a subscriber would see all of this information or have all access to all of this stuff that we do in preciousmetallswarrants.com. Now, and coincidentally, then as you flip over to the other service, the Greedy Guru, New Gold is also one of the top picks in that service because of the fact that there is 5 newsletters that follow New Gold. So you look at it and you think, my gosh, if you're going to be investing in this resource game, New Gold's kind of got you covered. I mean, this is a pretty intriguing situation. So that's just one good example of kind of how we like to connect the dots with little different approaches. To have a warrant, and what are the insiders doing? If I may say here, Kerry, is like one thing. Just always ask yourself, as an individual investor, for all of us, do we want to own more stock in any company than the president of that company? It's amazing how many times you may find that how little of an open market position the insiders have, and that's scary. And that's why, to me, everybody needs to know on the companies that you have, at least, what are the insider holdings, and heaven forbid you own a lot more stock than they do. It's just I wouldn't sleep too well at night, and knowing to say, I got 100,000 shares or 500,000 shares, and the officer just got a few thousand. He may have options and all this, but what I want to know, and I think everybody agrees, we want to see some skin in the game. We want to see the insiders that have bought in the open market, just like recently they've done at New Gold. Even Pierre Lassonde is one of the 5 that was buying at New Gold. He already has millions and millions of shares of New Gold, and he still wants more. That's the question I like to say. That's what I love to see. He's got so many shares, so why does he want another 20,000 or 50,000? Because they just can't. It's like a kid in a candy store. We cannot get enough of a good deal.
Hey.
We know where it's going.
And that brings us to the management of these companies too, because obviously that's the central element. And I think it's fair to say that proven managements, guys with a lot of experience who've found big mines and actually brought them to production, are much more interested in owning shares than in the overall compensation package. Not to say they're going to work for free, whereas other people who aren't as interested in watching these mines go to production or being bought out, are looking to get their pound up front oftentimes, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. And when you say when everybody, let's just say the Doug Caseys of the world, when everybody talks about the good management, so what does that mean? So yes, we can have a lot of years of experience in all of this. There's one company I'm going to show you I'll give you an example, but if it's okay, I won't mention the name. I will be mentioning the name in New York, with a chart. But one of the companies that we follow via the approach of the Greedy Guru and the top picks of the pros, we've got 3 newsletters, big newsletters, that follow this one company. And so what does Dudley do? I go to see what are the insiders doing. The chief executive officer owns 0 shares.
Wow.
The chief financial officer owns 0 shares. The executive VP has 26,000 shares. So the top 3 people collectively have got only 26,000 shares. Now, this is a company now that's selling for less than 70 cents, 0.70. So, and nobody's coming in to buy. And then these other analysts, this was a $3 to $4 stock earlier this year. And so, but everybody else just thinks this is the greatest deal going, and, the market's going to turn. And maybe it will. But all I'm saying is that, those top 3 officers, they have, 500,000 options or more. And no doubt they're probably, making $100,000, $200,000 a year or whatever. But they have not bought any stock in the open market themselves. There was a recent private placement up at about $1.05, $1.08. None of the officers participated in that private placement. And you say, well, Dudley, how would you know that? Well, I know that because in Canada, we basically got a 5-day reporting schedule. They are basically required. And what I'm experiencing is that a lot of the trades now, they're actually almost reporting the day that they do a transaction, whether that's a buy or a sell. Mm-hmm. And through my service, if these, where I follow hundreds of companies, anybody does anything, any insider does a transaction, I get an instant email telling me what just happened on that company. So it's easy for me to follow this, and I love to do it. So this is truly my business and my passion, and it's just a fun, unique approach to the markets.
Yeah.
But again, on that recent example, it's like even though you've got 3 analysts and they all are newsletters and the big names, and it's like, so what are they missing? So good management. What does good management mean? Well, we want the experience, but I want to see some damn skin in the game. Again, if I went in to buy any shares, I'm going to own more than all 3 of them put together. And that's not going to make me sleep very good at night. And, of course, the share price is maybe that's why it's drifting down, But it's just that's just my take on it. And I think everybody needs to get savvy enough and understand that, what are the insiders doing in your individual companies that you may own.
Yeah, absolutely. And, hey, I just want to say thank you for past gains that I've gotten when I'm being a subscriber to precious metals warrants. A couple of stocks I hit really big, Canico, and I think Extori, and largely as a result of your strategies there. So I can say from personal experiences, they've worked and been profitable. And on that note, we're going to see you in the Hard Assets Conference in New York, and that's on the 14th and 15th of May, next Monday and Tuesday. And we're very much looking forward to seeing you there, Dudley.
Oh, yeah. No, it'll be a great time. It's always exciting. So we will definitely see you there.
All right. Hey, you be well.